best way for you guys to see the guitar. Is anybody out there? Since there's 21 people here. Oh, that's what happened to it. Hi there, everybody. Technical difficulties. Nothing to fear, though. The leg came loose on my tripod. Okay. There we go. You guys should be able to see me much better now. Hi from Louisiana. Well, hello there, everybody. We'll get going here in just a few minutes. And we'll get volume levels checked and all that stuff. Pretty good lesson yesterday? Awesome. Well, thank you very much for that, Guitar Wizard. How's the guitar volume? Is it too loud? Perfect, okay. Let's see how it is with the backing track. Hear both guitars and backing track? Good mix. Okay. Track's too loud. How's that? Woo! Awesome. There we go. So give it a couple more minutes for people to start showing up. Drink you some spring water, and we'll be rocking and rolling. Solid, awesome. That's what we wanted to hear. So yeah, if you're just tuning in, you hear me mention this a bunch. I'm gonna throw the link in the chat too. But today is the last day of the 50% off of the new Essential Sequences 3-note per string course. So if you want to snag that, you can. It's linked all over the place right now. But if you want tabs for what I'm getting ready to cover today, and you want the backing track that I'm about to use, and you have the course, it is just at the very bottom in the bonus 2 section where you can get the tabs and the backing track, which you can play over it yourself if you want to. O-H, oh. Gotta ask, is the neck on that guitar a lot different than a Les Paul? Yeah, quite a bit different, honestly. The overall feel of the guitar is very different. Good afternoon from South Carolina. I haven't checked out too much of your courses yet since I'm at work. Wish I had a small guitar that suffered no effects from sitting in the car. Oh, yeah, I know, right? I used to have a little acoustic I kept in the car when I worked at Sam's Club, but it got all warped up because being in the car. Blade Runner, my SG is completely different than my Les Paul. Yeah, they're all very different, you know. Thanks for the reminder of the discount. Been busy week and I haven't gotten back to it. Most of the courses, this one is needed. Awesome. Yeah, like I said, anyone who wants to check out the course, those discount links are there. And I think we'll go ahead and we'll get ready to get going. So like I said, I'm going to keep saying it, but anybody who has the course and wants to follow along with what I'm playing, you have a live clinic section at the very bottom of the course. It's bonus 2, and you have the tabs for what we're doing today, as well as the backing track. So the whole point of and if you haven't tuned into one of these live clinics before, the way that I do this is I teach the stuff first to you, so I'm not really looking at the chat too much while I'm in the middle, kind of in the process of teaching the concept. But at the end, if you have questions, I'll gladly answer them for you, because today we've got to be pretty on the nose with our time. We've got a lot going on today. But, from Osprey Park, hello! What's up? What's Palms here? Let me grab my gym. Hey, get your guitar. Yep, you guys have like 5 seconds. Grab your guitar. 5, 4, 3. Hey, why don't you grab your guitar? Okay, so let's dive on into this. No, I don't really need a tab to pull up for me. Now, what I always thought was cool, and the point of sequencing was always to take the scale and make it sound more musical. You know, someone had commented and saying like, oh, this just makes you sound like a scale or something. I'm like, I think it does the opposite. Sorry, there's something in my eye. I think it actually takes a scale and makes it very musical. A scale is only as musical as the player is going to make it. And I talk about this in the course. You take an idea like this and, whatever the pattern is, it's only ever going to be as musical as you make it in the context that you put it in. So that's always important, that these are just concepts or an ideas of taking our scale and applying this pattern or sequence to it. And then, to me, it makes it more melodic. The lesson that we posted yesterday, that little, that whole thing, it's a sequence. I'm using the exact same pattern, and I'm just moving it through the scale. And to me, I'm like, well, there's the proof. You can't tell me that doesn't sound more musical than if I went like the... like that does sound like a scale. Or... the second one, to me, I'm like, oh, okay, we're kind of like getting taken along for the journey. So, is in the other room, figures. So our sequence is this. Okay? Now, what we're going to do is kind of apply it diagonally through. It's kind of just using one shape. So if you have the course, we talk about the 3 shapes of our A minor scale that we use in the course. We have shape 1, shape 2, and then shape 3. Okay, so now this whole sequence you could apply to any of those patterns, but we're going to stick to pattern number 2. Okay? So what I'm doing is I'm going to go 7th fret on the A string, and I hammer on to 10. Now, what I like to do sometimes, and what this teaches us, is that we don't have to always play the same number of notes on each string. So I go 7, hammer on to 10, and then I go to 8 on the low E string. I go back to the A string, and I pick 7, 8, 10. So there's our entire sequence right there. Now I'm starting with a down pick, and I hammer, and then I go to up. So it's all alternate picking for me. Okay? And that's just the overall sequence. Okay? So if you have that, you pretty much have it all down by this point, but we are just going to move it into the next phases of our scale. And what's kind of cool, what happens here is this next one uses all 4 fingers. And I love any exercise or sequence or lick, you know, whatever it is that uses all 4 fingers. Because to keep it in the scale, we have to use all of our fingers. So we're just going to hop down a string, and it's going to go 7, hammer on 10, again on the D, then 8. But this time when you go back to that D, you're going to go 7, 9, 10. Okay? So you've got... Oh, no, don't do that. I was watching my fingers in the camera. Okay? Now, if you watch my picking hand through this one, you'll notice whenever I transition to the next one, I'm doing a double down. So I go down, hammer, up, down, down, hammer, up, down, down. I'm sorry, down, up, down. And I continue through the scale that way. So my transition from one sequence set to the next is 2 downs in a row. I kind of sweep through the strings a little bit. Okay? Right there. Now the next one is nice because it gets us back to a pattern that mirrors itself on both strings. So you're going to go to 7th fret on the G, and then you're going to hammer on again to 10. Scale sounds like... Yeah, and all we're doing is just using our minor scale. That's all that we're doing is utilizing our A minor scale in kind of this second position, you could look at it as being. So I'm just pulling the tabs up real quick for myself to make sure that I'm doing that. And if you're just hopping in and you have the course, the tabs are located in the Live Clinic section. And if you want the course, it is linked in the description and up top. So we're going from 7, hammering on to 10 again, but this time on the G. Now you're going to go to 9 on the D, and then you're going to go 7, 9, 10 on the G. Now what's kind of cool with this one is you could pick every note if you wanted to without the hammer on. I like the hammer on because it gives you just enough of an accented section that dynamically it breaks it up. You know, if we picked everything... Anytime I hear that stuff, unless that's the effect you're going for, it sounds so similar. I love just the inclusion of hammer-ons and pull-offs. It's kind of like it's from the Eddie Van Halen school of him going. You know, he's not picking everything. Some notes are hammered on, some notes are not. So that's why I love the accent that you can really put on that down and hammer. And within these first 3 shapes, we've changed our fingering 3 different times. Like think about the first one. It was kind of like pointer, middle, pinky. The next one used all 4 fingers. This one uses pointer, ring, pinky. So if that gives you trouble right there, just cycle it. Just sit there and go through that one over and over again. Now, the next part here, we do have to shift up. To keep it in our scale, we're going to shift all the way up here, and we're going to go to 8th fret of the B and hammer on to 12 on the B. Okay? Then you're going to go to 10 on the G, and then 8, 10, 12 on the B. So again, if it gives you trouble, sit there and let that sequence just kind of sit on your fingers for a while. You also want to make sure there's a lot of control between that hammer-on. You notice that it's not faster or slower than any of the other notes. Like they all get the equal amount of space of each other. Okay. So we've got. There's only one left to do, which is actually mirroring the last one. So that always makes it nice whenever you have two in a row that are exactly the same. So that is just on the high E string. We're gonna go 8 to 12, 10 on the B, and then 8, 10, 12 on the high E string, which is all picked. Now, if this stretch is kind of funky or too big for people, what I always recommend anyone with smaller hands is for one to make sure that you're dropping your thumb in the back of the neck, but also I see a lot of people want to use their ring finger for this full step shape. And you'll see guys like Paul Gilbert do that and Steve Vai and all that stuff. And the issue is that they have like massively huge hands. So if that gives you trouble, try using your middle finger and dropping your thumb, and you'll be surprised how much further you can stretch your hand out without even, like, I'm not even trying, by dropping your thumb and using your middle finger, just doing it that way. So that's the lick right there. So questions over that, because I'm going to play it over the backing track here for you. A couple of different ways, at different tempos and different kind of like ideas of how I would implement something like this to get from point A to point B, or maybe it's building up into something cool, or maybe it's kind of like the finisher on a solo. So any questions over those? And let me look at the chat over here. Hello from Florida. Hi there. I think you are the best teacher on YouTube, a wealth of information and dedication. Well, thank you very much, Stephen. I really do appreciate that, man. That's extremely kind of you. I can't weigh in on that, but I love teaching, so hopefully that is translated well. Someone asking about guitar profiles. There are guitar profiles. So again, anyone, Craigers, if you have the course, man, you get the PDF if you want that, but also we include the guitar profile. So you can slow things down, you can loop them, all kinds of different things that you can do with that. Minnesota here, sorry I'm late to the party. What did I miss? Well, we just taught the lick, Chad. And if you have the course, you can snag the tabs. Someone said, are the tabs for this part of the lesson or bonus pattern? And if there are bonuses, where are they found within the lesson pack? This is part of the bonus section. So there's 2 different bonuses that you get in the course. They're at the very bottom of the course. So if you've had any of my courses before on Teachable, you know how they're kind of like the vertical format that they're laid out. You just go to the bottom and you'll see bonus 1, where I have a challenge where we take 5 of the sequences that we did throughout the course across the strings. And the challenge is for you to play them on a single string. So we do that together. And then the second bonus is you can view this live clinic whenever you want to. After it's not live anymore, the live clinic is taken down. So if you don't have the course, you won't be able to see it anymore. But also, you get the tabs for what I just taught, and then you get the backing track that I'm about to use. So here's the backing track. Kind of your standard rock riff. See the sequence? So it doesn't have to be like, it can be kind of quick like that. You know, you could break it up into chunks. Almost like a little melody there. Take the sequence, put it on one string. Well, I guess it's technically two strings, but move it, you know, horizontally instead of vertically. You know, I'm just. That's the thing with all of these is, they're interchangeable. Like there's so many different ways to use them once you have the sequences under your fingers. Because then you can kind of like, I mean, to me, my mind instantly starts thinking of things I could do with this. So one thing, you know, which makes it a little bit more advanced, I suppose, but I'm thinking like, okay, the easiest part of this lick and the hardest part is the fact that there's two strings involved in this. But what makes it easy is there's only one note on that other string. So if I can get good at doing just one of these, what if I started moving this note around? Okay. You know, and then my mind just kind of starts going, and it starts out as a simple sequence, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh yeah, I can move that lick around. Now it was you know, those three notes there, and all of a sudden I'm thinking of different things where I'm like, oh, I gotta roll my finger here, I need to do this here, and like, I don't know, that's the stuff that gets me really excited whenever I learn something like this, you know? Because I'm like, oh, that could be a riff. And it's the same thing. But now I'm viewing it in kind of like, oh, it's a riff. You know, I took the pattern, moved it to a new spot, and in my mind I'm here like, you know, so many things you can do with that. Take a simple idea, and if anything you learn gets the wheels turning, and you're like, oh, what if I tried this? To me, then it was worth learning. Like I remember I used to get the guitar magazines and stuff just because I would see one thing I wanted to learn. Like if I could just learn one thing out of the entire magazine, then I was like content. I'm like, worth the purchase. So it's in a place where planning over a backing track. It puts it into place when planning over a backing track. This is sounding like something Paul Gilbert would. It kind of has that Paul Gilbert, you know, when he does the. He's just sequencing, you know, and that's all Paul Gilbert. All of that stuff it's just sequencing. Same with like he's just going straight through the scale, but you'll hear him do a lot of this sequencing concept all throughout his stuff. You know, all that stuff. He's just taking a sequence. Simple idea, but sounds so musical. Exactly, Luke. That is exactly the whole point. It sounds musical. Okay, so we took this one and we moved straight through the scale. What if we just stayed here but did octave? Oh, look at this. That's a whole new idea. I did nothing out of the scale, like funky with the scale, anything. I just sat there and I played it in octaves. Moved up. Endless stuff you can do with it. I'm telling you. That sounds like classical. Yeah, it does. Rolling the fingers on the frets is so great, and so Aang is so effective. Exactly. That's the thing. It just gets us moving in all these different ways. So, any other questions over that stuff, guys? Because, like I said, if you're just now tuning in and you want to be able to maybe watch the live clinic back later or something, it is available to everyone who has my new course, which is Essential Sequences, 3-note per string. Today's the last day to get it at the 50% off. I will throw her in the chat one more time, and then we'll take some questions, and then we'll probably bounce out of here. We got a busy day today. How did it go with the RG550 Genesis? How did it go? I'm not sure what you mean. How did it go? I don't have one of those yet. I've played my friends, and I like it, and I want one of the Road for Red ones, but Sweetwater's still out of stock. I have an original RG550 back behind me, if you can see it back there, which is essentially, I think, the same thing. I think the newer ones have, what did I did a video on it. I just can't remember. They have like a multi-piece neck, so their necks are a little stronger. Adam says, do you ever get your hair caught in your strings while playing? All the time. I love your content, by the way. Thank you. Yeah, that's usually the sign that I take whenever I'm like, all right, I need to get my hair cut. once I can't like sit here and play without it getting caught in the string, then I go get my hair cut. Very scientific, right? What's the key to picking this? String hopping? How do you know to start on an upstroke or downstroke? Roy, honestly, that's going to come down to what is more comfortable for you as a player. Now, for me, the way that I pick it, and like I said, I go through the picking in detail earlier in the live clinic too, is I start with a down. So I go down, hammer, up, down, down. And when I start the next sequence, it is also a down. So when I go through this whole thing, I end up having 2 downs in a row when I transition to the next string. Right there. Yo, Bill, what's up, buddy? In your whole collection of guitars, what is your favorite one? My Les Paul and my Strat. That's something I always do. What kind of strings? Sorry, let me look over here. Dude, what kind of strings do you play? I use Ernie Ball. I like the Paradigm strings. What kind would you put half step down? I keep everything the same, honestly. 10 to 46. Hey, my buddy Michael Torin. Dude, thank you very much. If you guys haven't subscribed to Michael's channel, I love Michael's channel. We need more unboxing videos, man. We need more rack gear videos. I was just talking to RJ about doing a big 80s rack video with him. So 10 to 46 feels kind of sloppy. Oh, kind of like loose. Yeah, you might need, like I said, if they feel too loose to you, you might need to go up. And it really depends on what type of guitar you're putting them on. 10 to 46 is going to feel completely different on a Strat, but that's 25.5 scale versus like a Les Paul or like the Explorer, which is 24 3/4, or your PRS, which is, you know, right in the middle. So it totally depends on the guitar, but I just run 10 to 46 on everything. Or I have a whole bunch of your courses, but the Power of the Major Third Clinic is locked. When will it open again? I don't. Did you tune into that one, man? I don't know, because that was a clinic that we did a long time ago, where we were trying to like sell tickets to the clinic, and I can't remember why that one's locked now. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know the answer to that. I forgot we did that one. That was a while ago. I was a tab guy for years, but got over not being able to improvise. So now learning theory. Finally, theory really helps, man. You know, to me, that is where, I mean, take the idea that we did today. You know, take this idea, and then is perfect for lazy shoppers like me. And you know, I'm using it in this minor kind of context. But you could put it over, you know, modally, or put it in like something different. Like, what if I took this idea and I did Hungarian minor with it, you know, where I'm like, oh, it sounds very different, right? So that's where, to me, theory comes in handy, because you could take one idea and just like rapid fire, change it, do whatever you want with that. Oh, I want to harmonize this. You know, oh, let me just move up in the scale a little bit here, and I'll harmonize it. So that would be the start if I did it here. And the harmony is up here. So I could harmonize the whole thing. Sorry. You know, in a matter of seconds, harmonize, done. Hey, maybe you already answered this, but what year type color is that Explorer? It sounds great. Well, thank you very much, Bobby. And then I see someone else asking about the Explorer. It says, do you find the Explorer plays significantly different than your Les Paul? I'd imagine the G-string issue is much better for the starters because of the headstock. You know, all jokes aside about Gibson tuning, is I've never had tuning issues with any of my Gibsons. I did a video a while ago about how I string them up. And I think that's why I don't have any issues. And I've seen a lot of comments on that video from people saying that they started stringing their guitars the way that I show it in the video, and it solved their tuning issues as well. But as far as feel, they feel totally different, like worlds apart. Same as if you went from Les Paul to SG. You know, an Explorer and Firebird and SG, everything is a little bit shifted to the left. So it feels quite a bit different than a Les Paul. And I love the way the Explorer feels. I mean, it's like one of the best guitars I've ever purchased. Was this what? Now, as far as the year of it, it's a 2018 Firebird. So it's nothing special. It's just a Firebird standard that I bought off of, what's the website? Reverb, you know, a few years ago. Jason Carter says, Robert, I'm focusing on triads at the moment. Do you have any courses that highlight triads? Ooh. Jason, you will be happy with the next course that comes out. Now, we won't have any new courses for about 2 months, but the next one is all about triads. It's an entire course dedicated just to that. So stay tuned for that one, man. We're going to focus on your major, minor, and suspended triads all over the place. So that is the next course that is slated. We were actually supposed to get that one done before we moved, but all of our moving plans got moved, imagine that, up a month. So I'm like, shoot, you know, I was already like in like meltdown phase of trying to get, I pre-shot 2 months worth of videos for everything, because I won't have a studio. I won't have a way to like do any of this stuff. So I pre-shot a bunch of it, and then to think about doing a course on top of it, I would have just like fallen apart. Floors are crazy comfortable to play, in my opinion. People would trash on it, but I know horn. Perfectly. Yeah, I think they're super comfortable. Do you have new or older courses for beginners and intermediate players to learn alternate picking? I do, actually. I have like speed building workout, also the Rock'n'Roll Boot Camp for beginners, but I would hold off on buying that because when does that come out? I think June, we're having a moving sale, and that's going to have Rock'n'Roll Boot Camp Part 1 and 2 bundled together which we've never done before, but at a really low price. So those will be out, like I said, in June. You can get that bundle. And yeah. Of course, they're awesome. They inspire me to create my own sequences. That's awesome, Craig. I really appreciate that, man. That's the whole point, you know. Take one idea from the course and then, you know, take it off in 50 different directions. Because that's what I've always done with everything I've learned. You know, you learn a cool sequence from a player, and then sorry, I'm getting text. Bought the A-Course bundle way back. We don't even offer that anymore. So yeah, Jason, you got like one of the OG deals. Find me a mini foot controller I bought off your. Oh, that's cool. I don't think I use little jazz picks. I don't know if I could hold it with 3 fingers. So, anyways, guys, I think that is going to be it. I hope you all enjoyed the little live clinic. A little bit shorter than usual, but I wanted to make sure that I actually got to end the video this time. The last time my phone just shut off in the middle of the clinic. So luckily we got everything taught, but man. Hey, Arthur, look, man. Show up. We're just getting ready to leave, but I'm glad you made it. So anyone who wants to, you can check out the course. I'll throw it in the chat one more time. It's linked all over the place. And today's the final day. And if you wanted to, if you want to watch the live clinic back, if you have the course, that link is there for you. But unfortunately, the live clinic here will be taken down, and it's only going to be available inside the course. Opinion about Blackstar amps? I haven't played too many Blackstar amps, to be honest. Thank you. Yes, thank you guys all so much for tuning in. Thank you to everyone who checked out the course. I really do appreciate that. And I just hope that you all have a wonderful day. So, just got a notification. YouTube isn't really good at being on top of things. Oh, that's a bummer, man. But anyways, I will see you all later. Bye, homies, and have a good rest of your Sunday. Nope, I missed the button.